I used to think a safe marriage was built on trust. For 6 years, I trusted Claire with everything. For almost 3 years, I trusted Ryan with my life. That evening, Claire called me at the office. "I'm going home early," she said. "Are you okay?" "I have a headache. I just want to lie down." "I'll come home soon." "Don't. Finish your work. I'll be fine." "Promise." "I promise." I smiled at her voice. "I love you." "I love you too." Those words stayed with me longer than they should have. I worked until nearly 8. When I finally walked outside, I saw Claire's car turning onto a road that made no sense. I stopped. "Why are you going that way?" I got into my car and followed her. At first, I told myself I was being foolish. "She probably has to stop somewhere," I whispered. But Claire never used that road to get home. I followed from a distance, keeping several cars between us. My hands tightened around the steering wheel as the road became quieter. Then I saw a hotel ahead. "No," I said softly. Claire's car pulled into the parking area. I parked across the street and watched. She stepped out. She wasn't sick. She wasn't going home. She stood near the entrance, checking her phone. My heart began beating harder. "Who are you waiting for?" A few seconds later, another car appeared. I recognized it instantly. Ryan, my driver, the man who had picked me up every morning for almost 3 years. I stared through my windshield. "No." Ryan parked and walked toward her. Claire smiled. I had not seen that smile directed at me in weeks. She reached for his hand. I stopped breathing. "Claire." She moved closer to him. Ryan looked around before pulling her into his arms. I felt something inside me break. "That's not possible." I wanted to get out. I wanted to scream. I wanted to demand an explanation. Instead, I stayed frozen. Ryan whispered something to her. Claire laughed softly. Then she touched his face. My hands began shaking. "What am I looking at?" I reached for my phone. My thumb hovered over Claire's name. Call her. That was what I should have done. But another thought stopped me. What if she answered? What if she lied? What if she told me exactly what I was already afraid to hear? I lowered the phone. "I need to know." I watched them walk toward the hotel entrance. Ryan opened the door for her. Claire stopped before going inside. She turned toward him. For 1 second, I saw her clearly under the hotel lights. Then she kissed him. My wife kissed my driver. I felt my chest tighten as I stared at them. 6 years of marriage flashed through my mind. Our wedding. Our first apartment. The nights we laughed over stupid things. Every "I love you." Every promise. And now this. I whispered, "How long?" They disappeared inside. I finally picked up my phone and called my best friend, Marcus. He answered immediately. "Ethan? What happened?" I could barely speak. I followed Claire. There was silence. "Why?" "I saw her car. And she came to a hotel." Marcus's voice changed. "Are you sure?" "I'm sitting across from it." "Ethan, listen to me. Don't go inside." "I saw her with Ryan." Another silence. "What do you mean?" "I mean Ryan was here." "Your driver?" "Yes." "What were they doing?" I closed my eyes. I saw them kiss. Marcus breathed slowly. "Ethan, come home." "I can't." "You can. Whatever you're feeling, don't make it worse tonight." "I need answers." "You'll get them. Just not like this." I looked at the hotel entrance again. I trusted them. "I know." "No, Marcus. You don't understand. I trusted them completely." "I understand enough. Go home." I started the engine, but I didn't move. For the first time in 6 years, I wondered whether my wife had ever truly been mine. Then I looked at the hotel again. One thought filled my mind. Claire had been hiding something from me, and I was going to find out what it was. "It's almost 9. "Then drive home," Marcus said. "Think tomorrow." "I don't think I'll sleep." "Don't let one night destroy your judgment." "One night," I whispered. "I don't think this started tonight." "Then find the truth first." "I will." "And Ethan?" "Yeah." "Whatever you discover, remember who you are." I ended the call and drove home. I sat in my car across from the hotel, staring at the entrance where Claire and Ryan had disappeared. "Ethan, go home," Marcus said through the phone. "I can't." "You can. I need to know what they are doing." "You already saw enough." "No. I saw a kiss. I don't know the story behind it." Marcus went quiet. "Listen to me," he said. "If you walk into that hotel angry, you may do something you regret." I looked at the dark entrance. "I won't." "You sound angry." "I am angry." "Then leave." I hated that he was right. I started my car and drove home. For the next 2 hours, I sat in the living room with the lights off. Every time I heard a car outside, my heart jumped. Finally, near 11, I heard the front door open. "Ethan." I stood up. Claire walked inside and looked surprised. "You're awake?" "Yeah." She came closer and kissed my cheek. "Why are you still up?" "I couldn't sleep." "Because of work?" "Something like that." She smiled and removed her coat. "I told you I had a headache." "I remember. You should have gone to bed. I was waiting for you." She paused. "Why?" "I wanted to see you." Her eyes stayed on mine for a second too long. Then she smiled again. "You're sweet." I forced myself to smile. "Where were you?" The question almost escaped. Instead, I said, "Did your headache get better?" Claire touched her forehead. "A little." "Good. You look tired." "I am." "Come upstairs." "I'll be there soon." She walked away. I watched her disappear up the stairs. The woman I loved had just lied to my face, and I had smiled back. The next morning, Ryan arrived at exactly 7:30. He opened the car door. "Good morning, Mr. Carter." "Morning, Ryan." "Everything okay?" "Why wouldn't it be?" He smiled. "No reason." I got inside. For several minutes, neither of us spoke. Then Ryan asked, "Did you sleep well?" "Not really." "Long night?" "Very." He looked at me through the mirror. "You want me to stop for coffee?" "No." "Are you sure?" "Yes." His voice remained calm. That calmness hurt more than anger would have. I studied his face. Nothing. No fear. No guilt. Just the same driver I had trusted for years. "Ryan." "Yes, sir." "How long have you worked for me?" "Almost 3 years." "And have I ever given you a reason to distrust me?" He frowned. "No." "Good." I looked out the window, just making sure. He said nothing. At the office, I called Daniel. He answered quickly. "What happened?" "I need to talk." "About Claire." I froze. "How did you know?" "Your voice." I told him everything. He stayed silent for several seconds. Then he said, "Ethan, betrayal rarely begins on the day you discover it." "What does that mean?" "It means you should stop looking at last night." "Why?" "Because last night may only be the first day you finally noticed." His words followed me all morning. I started watching Claire differently. She began taking calls in another room. She changed passwords. She started leaving home earlier. When I asked where she was going, she always had an answer. Shopping. Meeting a friend. Running an errand. Each answer sounded normal. Together, they sounded like lies. One afternoon, Claire left her phone on the kitchen counter. I walked past it. Then I stopped. The screen lit up. A message appeared. I knew I shouldn't touch it, but I did. The sender was unknown. The message was short. "He still doesn't know about the money." My stomach dropped. "What money?" I whispered. I stared at the screen, unable to breathe. Then another message appeared. "Don't tell him yet." I looked toward the hallway. Claire was coming back. I quickly placed the phone exactly where I found it. I wanted to ask her immediately, "What money?" But I swallowed the question. If I confronted her now, she would know I had seen the message. Then every secret would move deeper underground. I needed proof. I needed patience. Most of all, I needed to know who else was involved. That night, Claire sat beside me on the couch. "You've been quiet lately," she said. "I've been thinking." "About what?" I looked at her. "About us." Her smile disappeared. "What do you mean?" "Nothing," I said. "Not yet." I said nothing and looked away. She smiled. What are you doing? Nothing. She picked up her phone. I watched her. For the first time, I wasn't wondering whether Claire was cheating on me. I was wondering what she had been hiding from me. And suddenly, the kiss I had witnessed felt like the smallest part of the truth. I could not stop thinking about the message on Claire's phone. He still doesn't know about the money. Those 6 words followed me into the office the next morning. I called Sophia before I could change my mind. I need your help, I said. That sounds serious. It is. I think money is being moved from our joint accounts. Do you have statements? Yes. I'll send everything. Don't confront anyone yet. I already confronted nobody. Good. Let me investigate quietly. By afternoon, Sophia called me. Ethan, I found something. My stomach tightened. What? There are several transfers from your joint account. How much? Enough to concern you. Where did the money go? To an account belonging to a company called North Star Holdings. I've never heard of it. That is exactly why I'm concerned. Can you trace the company? I'm trying. I stared at my desk. Do you think Claire did this? I think you should avoid conclusions until I have more evidence. But my mind had already made the connection. Claire, Ryan, the hotel, the money. I called Marcus. Tell me I'm imagining this. You're not. Sophia found transfers from our account. To whom? North Star Holdings. Do you know who owns it? Not yet. Marcus became quiet. Ethan, what are you thinking? That Claire and Ryan aren't only having an affair. You think they're stealing from you? I don't know, but I need to know. That evening, I returned home early. Mrs. Grace was in the kitchen. She had worked in my house for years and knew our family better than most people. Grace, can I ask you something? Of course. Have you ever seen Claire meeting Ryan alone? Her hands stopped moving. Why are you asking? Please. She looked at me carefully. Yes. My chest tightened. When? Before he started working for you. I stared at her. How long before? Several months. Where? Near the old restaurant downtown. Are you sure it was Ryan? I remember his face. And Claire? Yes. What were they doing? I don't know. I stepped back. So they knew each other before I hired him. Grace lowered her voice. I'm sorry, Ethan. I nodded. Thank you for telling me. I found Ryan outside that evening. Ryan, we need to talk. About what, sir? Claire. His face remained calm. What about her? Did you know her before you started working for me? He shook his head. No. Think carefully. I am. Because I already know you did. His eyes flickered. I don't know what you're talking about. You're lying to me. I'm not. Then look me in the eye and say it again. He looked directly at me. I never knew Claire before you hired me. I felt something cold settle inside me. Get out of my sight. Ethan. Leave. He walked away. I stood there, angry and confused. If Ryan was lying, why? That question bothered me more than the affair itself. Later, Claire found me in the study. You've been acting strange. Have I? Yes. I found something. Her face changed. What? Money has been leaving our account. She stared at me. What are you talking about? Do you know North Star Holdings? Her silence lasted only a second. No. Are you sure? Yes. Then why do you look frightened? I don't. You do. She folded her arms. Ethan, you're becoming paranoid. Paranoid? You follow my car? Questioned Ryan, and now accuse me of stealing. I followed you because you lied to me. Her face hardened. I told you I had a headache. You went to a hotel. She went completely still. So you followed me. Yes. That's disturbing. Who were you meeting? No one. I saw Ryan. You saw wrong. I watched you kiss him. She looked away. You're imagining things. I'm not. She walked toward the door. Maybe you should talk to someone. Claire. She stopped. Tell me the truth. I have nothing to tell you. She left. I remained alone. I opened Sophia's latest email. One attachment waited for me. I opened it. The company registration appeared on the screen. North Star Holdings. My eyes moved to the owner's name. Victor Hale. My biggest business rival. I whispered, Victor. I leaned back and read the document. Why would Victor need Claire? I remembered meeting, offer, warning he had given me. Then another thought struck me. What if Ryan isn't the one making the decisions? That possibility changed everything. For the time, I wondered whether I had been watching the wrong person. I needed answers before I confronted anyone. Suddenly, the betrayal was no longer just about my marriage. Someone had been using my wife, my driver, and my money. And I had a feeling Victor Hale was sitting at the center of it all. I closed Sophia's email and sat alone in my study. The words on the screen would not leave me. North Star Holdings was connected to Victor Hale. I called Claire. Come to the study. She appeared a minute later. What happened? I turned my laptop toward her. Do you know this company? She looked at the screen. No. Look again. I said no. Money from our account went there. Her face changed. I don't know anything about that. Then explain these transfers. I can't. Because you don't know, or because you don't want to tell me. She stared at me. You've been spying on me. I've been trying to understand why my money is disappearing. You think I stole from you. I think you lied to me. Her eyes filled with tears. You want the truth? Yes. You destroyed our marriage long before you followed my car. I felt the words hit harder than I expected. What did I do? You were never home. I worked for us. You worked for yourself. That isn't fair. It is. I gave you everything I could. No, Ethan. You gave me money, a house, and a comfortable life. You didn't give me yourself. I looked away. Part of me knew she was right. I had missed dinners. I had forgotten anniversaries. I had answered business calls while she was talking. I made mistakes, I said. But my mistakes don't excuse betrayal. She wiped her tears. I never said they did. Then tell me about Ryan. Her expression froze. What about him? You met him before I hired him. Who told you that? Grace. Claire closed her eyes. Fine. Fine. Yes, I knew Ryan before you hired him. How long? Almost a year. My chest tightened. Were you sleeping with him? No, but you met him secretly. Yes. Why? She hesitated. Because I needed help. With what? I can't explain. You can, and you will. She shook her head. Our relationship is not what you think. I saw you kiss him. I know. You know? Yes. Then stop lying. She looked at me with tears in her eyes. I was scared. Of what? Of losing everything. You already lost me. She turned and walked away. I stood there, feeling more broken than angry. I wanted to stop her, but I had no answer that could erase what she said. Did you ever love me? She looked back. Yes. Then why? Because I felt alone. I was standing beside you. Your body was. Your mind was always somewhere else. That sentence stayed with me. I wanted to defend myself, but I remembered every night I had chosen another meeting over dinner. Still, I could not accept what she had done. Being lonely does not give you permission to betray me. I know. Then tell me the whole truth. I'm not ready. Then you're still protecting someone. She said nothing. I realized she was afraid of more than losing our marriage. She was afraid of someone else. An hour later, Ryan called me. Sir, can we talk? Come inside. He entered my study and closed the door. You lied to me, I said. I know. Why? Because I was afraid. Everyone keeps saying that. Afraid of what? Victor Hale. My anger sharpened. Start talking. Claire approached me before I worked for you. What did she want? She said Victor needed information about your company. I stared at him. You agreed? Yes. Why? Money. So you sold me out. I thought it would be simple. And then? Victor wanted more. Claire kept asking me for documents, schedules, passwords, meetings. Did you give them to her? Some. I stepped closer. Some. I never gave her everything. Why should I believe you now? Because Victor threatened me. What did Victor threaten? My family. Did he hurt them? Not yet. That's why I'm talking now. I studied him carefully. If you're lying again, I will know. I understand. And if this is a trap? I asked. Ryan swallowed. Then you'll lose everything anyway. Ryan reached into his pocket and pulled out a small flash drive. I recorded some of their meetings. Why? Because I knew I was trapped. He placed it on my desk. Watch this. I looked at the drive. Why give it to me? Because I don't want to keep lying. Before I could answer, my phone rang. Victor Hale. I stared at the screen. Ryan whispered, "Don't trust anyone." I answered, "Victor." "Ethan, I hear you're having problems with your company. What do you want?" "I want to make an offer." "What kind?" "I'll buy 30% of your company." I laughed bitterly. "After everything? You should consider it." "Why?" "Because your company may not survive what's coming." The call ended. I stared at the phone. Ryan looked at me. "He knows." "Knows what?" "That you found out." I looked at the flash drive. My marriage, my money, and my company were suddenly tied together. Ryan pushed the drive closer. "If you want the truth about your wife, watch this, but don't trust anyone." I inserted Ryan's flash drive into my laptop and stared at the folder on the screen. 3 recordings, I whispered. I opened the first one. Claire's voice filled the room. "I can't keep doing this, Victor." His voice answered, cold and calm. "Then you should have thought about that before you agreed." "I only wanted security." "You'll get security when Ethan's company is weakened." My hands tightened. Claire asked, "What exactly do you need?" "Client lists, contracts, his upcoming merger, anything that gives me leverage." "And if Ethan finds out?" "He won't, unless you become careless." I stopped the recording. I could barely breathe. "She did this willingly," I whispered. I played the second file. Claire sounded angry. "You promised this would be simple." "It was simple." "You keep asking for more." "Because you keep giving me excuses." "I want my money." "You'll get it when the deal is finished." I closed my eyes. For months, I had blamed Ryan. Now I heard Claire making deals with Victor herself. Then the third recording began. "I know Ethan is going to leave me," Claire said. Victor answered, "Then protect yourself before he does." "I don't want to end up with nothing." "You won't. Help me, and you'll have enough money to start over." Claire was silent. Then she said, "Okay, I'll do it." I pushed away from the desk. That hurt more than the kiss. She had not simply made a mistake. She had planned for a future without me while I was still fighting for our marriage. I called Mia. She answered immediately. "Ethan, I need to talk to you." "What happened?" "I heard Claire's recordings." "Are you okay?" "No." I told her everything. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she said, "What are you going to do?" "I want to destroy them." "Will that give you your marriage back?" "No." "Will it give you your peace back?" I said nothing. "Ethan, revenge feels powerful for 5 minutes," Mia said. "Then you still have to live with yourself." I trusted Claire. "I know." I trusted Ryan. "I know." I feel like an idiot. "You're not an idiot for loving someone." She chose money over me. She made a choice. You don't have to let her choice decide who you become. I looked at the laptop. What should I do? Protect yourself first. Those words stayed with me. I called Sophia. "I have evidence." "How serious?" "Very." "Send it to me. Don't alter anything." "I won't." "What do you want to do?" "Freeze the suspicious accounts and protect the company." "That's the right move." "Can we stop Victor from accessing anything else?" "Yes. I'll begin immediately." I called Marcus next. "I need you to investigate Victor." "Already working on it." "Find every connection." "I will." "And don't confront him." "I wasn't planning to." "I mean it, Marcus." I understand. Then Sophia called back. Ethan, we found another transfer. From Claire. From an account connected to your company. My stomach tightened. How much? Enough to matter. Freeze everything. I'm already filing the request. I sat quietly after the call. For years, I had measured my worth by how much I could provide. A house, a company, a comfortable life. I had thought those things could keep a marriage safe. I was wrong. That night, Claire walked into the room. You've been distant. I've been thinking. About what? About what you really wanted. She looked nervous. What does that mean? I don't want to fight. Then what do you want? The truth. I told you everything. No, Claire. You told me what you thought I could handle. She looked away. I almost begged her again. Almost. Instead, I said, I'm done asking why I wasn't enough. Her eyes filled with tears. Ethan, I'm done chasing answers from someone who keeps lying. You don't understand. Maybe I finally do. She walked toward me. Please. I stepped back. I won't destroy you. She stared at me. But I won't protect you from the truth either. After she left, I looked at the recordings again. I felt anger. I felt grief. I felt humiliated. But beneath all of it, something new was growing. Strength. I no longer wanted revenge. I wanted justice. I wanted my company protected. I wanted the truth exposed. And most importantly, I wanted my life back. I closed the laptop and whispered, let the truth destroy the people who built their lives on lies. I knew the road ahead would hurt. Claire might regret what she had done, Ryan might confess more, and Victor might fight harder. But I finally understood one thing. I did not need to become cruel to win. I only needed to stay calm, protect what remained, and let every lie collapse under its own weight naturally. I knew my plan was working when Noah called me before breakfast. I found something, he said. How bad? Worse than we expected. I sat down. Tell me. Victor has been moving money through several shell companies. The transfers are connected to North Star Holdings. How many companies? 5 that I can prove so far. And Claire. She appears in some of the records. My stomach tightened. What does that mean? I'm not sure yet. Sophia may have more. I called Sophia immediately. Tell me you found something useful. I did. What? Claire signed several documents connected to the transfers. Did she know what she was signing? That's the problem. Some documents could make her legally responsible for part of the fraud, even if she claimed she didn't understand them. I closed my eyes. So Victor used her. He may have. And she trusted him. That part is clear. I ended the call and stared at my phone. For the first time, I felt something strange. I wasn't shaking. I wasn't furious. I was calm. Claire noticed it that evening. You haven't asked me anything all day. I didn't have anything to ask. She frowned. You usually want to know where I've been. I stopped asking. Why? Because I finally stopped trying to save something you already destroyed. Her face went pale. Ethan, I'm not fighting with you anymore. You don't care. I cared too much. She stepped closer. Are you leaving me? I haven't decided anything yet. But you're acting different. I am different. She looked confused. I thought you wanted answers. I did. And now? Now I want the truth to speak for itself. She lowered her voice. You think I'm a terrible person. I think you made terrible choices. You don't understand why I did it. Maybe I don't. You never listened. I'm listening now. She stared at me, but I said nothing else. Later that night, Ryan called. Ethan, I need to tell you something. Go ahead. Victor knows someone is investigating him. Who? I don't know. Did he contact you? Yes. What did he say? He told me to stop talking to you. What else? He said if I cooperate, my family will suffer. I stood up. Ryan, are you safe? For now. Then stay somewhere Victor cannot reach you. I will. I need you to cooperate fully. I will. No more lies. No more lies. After the call, Noah sent me another message. I opened it. Victor had moved millions through companies that appeared unrelated to him. I forwarded everything to Sophia. She called within minutes. Ethan, this is enough to protect your position, but we need to be careful. What about Claire? She may have signed documents that put her in danger. Can we protect her? Sophia paused. Do you want to? I looked toward the hallway. Yes. Even after what she did. I won't let Victor destroy her just because she betrayed me. That says a lot about you. I'm not doing it for her. Then why? Because I refuse to become someone I hate. The next morning, Claire received a call. I watched the color disappear from her face. Who was that? She looked at me. Victor. What did he want? He said I need to tell the investigators that you forced me to move the money. I stared at her. And will you? No. Why not? Because it isn't true. I almost laughed. Now you care about the truth. She lowered her eyes. I thought Victor would protect me. He never protected you. I know that now. She began crying. I made a terrible mistake. Yes. I thought he would give me enough money to start over. And now I realize he only used me. I felt sorry for her, but I did not move closer. Claire, you made your choices. I know. Now you have to face them. She nodded. I called Marcus. Any progress? I found 2 companies tied to Victor's partners. Can you prove the connection? Not yet, but I'm getting close. Keep digging. Ethan, are you sure you want this fight? I'm not fighting for revenge. Then what are you fighting for? My life. Marcus went quiet. You sound different. I'm different. Good, he said. Then don't look back. I ended the call and saved every file Sophia had sent me. I knew Victor expected fear. Instead, I felt ready. For once, I wasn't afraid of him. That afternoon, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I opened the message. If you expose me, your wife won't be the only person who loses everything. I read it twice. Then I looked toward the window. For the first time, I understood that Victor was no longer hiding. He was warning me, and whatever happened next would decide everything. I read Victor's message 3 times. If you expose me, your wife won't be the only person who loses everything. I called Daniel. Where are you? At home. Lock the doors. What happened? Victor knows about the investigation. Daniel went silent. Does he know where you live? I think so. Then don't take chances. I won't. Ethan, we need to fight back. I'm already doing that. No, I mean aggressively. Daniel, I'm not becoming a criminal because Victor is one. He threatened our family. I know. Then let me handle him. No, we do this legally. Sophia called before Daniel could answer. Ethan, Daniel is right about one thing. Victor is dangerous. I know. But if you retaliate outside the law, you could destroy everything we've built. I understand. Then promise me you'll follow the legal route. I promise. I ended the call and looked toward the window. For the first time, I realized Victor was not trying to scare only me. He was trying to reach everyone I loved. That night, Mia called. Ethan, are you okay? I'm fine. You're lying. I'm worried about you. About me? Yes. I heard someone was watching the house. My stomach tightened. Who told you? Daniel. Stay with him tonight. Ethan, what's happening? I'll explain everything when I know more. Promise. I promise. After the call, someone knocked on my door. I opened it and froze. Claire stood there crying. Ethan, please. I stepped aside. Come in. She wiped her face. Victor is going to destroy me. You knew he was dangerous. I didn't know how dangerous. You still chose him. I know. Then why are you here? Because I'm scared. I looked at her. For a moment, I didn't see the woman who had lied to me. I saw the woman I had loved for 6 years. The woman who used to fall asleep beside me. The woman whose hand I held when we had nothing. Then I remembered the hotel. What do you want from me? Protection. I sighed. I'll protect you from Victor. Her eyes widened. You will? Yes. After everything I did. I won't become cruel just because you hurt me. She began crying harder. I'm sorry. I believe that you're sorry. Can you forgive me? I looked at her for several seconds. I can forgive you someday. She nodded through her tears. But that doesn't mean I'm taking you back. Her face fell. I understand. I can forgive what happened without pretending it never happened. I wish I could change it. So do I. She looked down. I was afraid of losing my life. You were afraid of losing comfort. Yes. And you were willing to destroy me to keep it. I know. I walked toward the door. Stay somewhere safe tonight. Where? I'll arrange a secure place through Sophia. You're still helping me. I'm helping because I refuse to let Victor decide who deserves protection. Claire nodded. Thank you. I opened the door. She stopped. Ethan. Yeah. I really did love you. I swallowed. I loved you too. She left. I stood alone for a moment. Then Ryan called. Ethan. Yes. I'm ready. Ready for what? To tell the truth. Are you sure? Yes. I'll testify. Against Victor. Against everyone, including myself. I close my eyes. Thank you. I know I hurt you. You did. I can't undo that. No, but I can stop lying. That matters. We spent the next several hours preparing everything with Sophia. I gave her the recordings, the financial records, and Victor's threats. Ryan provided names, dates, messages, and details about the meetings. At one point, Sophia asked, "Are you sure you want to go through with this?" Yes. Even if Claire faces consequences. Yes. Even if you still love her. I paused. Yes. Sophia nodded. That is the hardest kind of justice. After everyone left, I sat alone in my study. I thought about the man I had been when I first saw Claire and Ryan outside that hotel. I wanted revenge. I wanted them to feel my pain. Now I understood something different. Making Claire suffer would not heal me. Destroying Victor would not erase the past. But surviving without becoming the broken man they created, that was something I could choose. I had lost my marriage, but I would not lose myself too. Not again. I looked at the evidence on my desk. Let the truth speak, I whispered. For the first time since that terrible night, I felt free. I watched the first cracks appear 3 days after we submitted the evidence. Sophia called me early. Ethan, the authorities opened an investigation. Against Victor? Yes. His accounts are being reviewed. I sat quietly. Did they find the transfers? They found more than we expected. How much more? Enough to connect several companies. I exhaled slowly. And my company? Protected. The safeguards we put in place are working. For the first time in weeks, I felt something close to relief. Then Marcus called. Victor's partners are walking away. Already. Several of them. What happened? They don't want their names connected to the investigation. I looked at my desk. So it's collapsing. Piece by piece. I didn't celebrate. I simply said, good. By afternoon, the hidden transactions became public. News spread quickly. Victor's companies were being investigated. Accounts were frozen. Business partners denied knowing about the shell companies. People who once praised him suddenly refused to answer his calls. Noah sent me another message. We found enough financial evidence to establish the pattern. I replied, keep everything secure. He answered, already done. Then Sophia called again. Ethan, there's something you need to know. What? Claire is facing legal consequences too. I closed my eyes. Because of the documents? Yes. Can she prove she didn't understand them? She can try, but some of the evidence shows she knowingly helped Victor. I stared out the window. She had protected her comfortable life. Now that life was disappearing. I wondered if she finally understood what she had risked. That evening, Ryan came to my office. I gave my statement. How did it go? I admitted everything. Everything? Yes. I told them about the meetings, the documents, and what Victor demanded. And what about you? I told them I was responsible for what I did. I nodded. That's the right thing. Ryan looked down. I'm sorry, Ethan. I know. I wish I could change it. So do I. I don't expect forgiveness. I'm not ready to give it. I understand. He stood up. I'll cooperate with the investigation. Do that. He walked toward the door. Ryan. He stopped. Thank you for finally telling the truth. He nodded and left. A week later, my company survived the crisis. Sophia called it a victory. You protected the company before exposing Victor. I was lucky. No. You were careful. Marcus laughed when he heard. You finally learned patience. I learned it the hard way. My business survived, but I didn't feel victorious. Something was missing. Maybe it was the future I thought I would have. Maybe it was the man I used to be. Then Claire asked to see me. We met in a quiet room at my lawyer's office. She sat across from me. For several seconds, neither of us spoke. Finally, she said, You look different. I feel different. I heard about the company. It survived. I'm glad. I nodded. She looked down at her hands. I lost everything. I know. The house. The accounts. The life I was protecting. I said nothing. She looked at me. Do you hate me? I hated what you did. That isn't the same answer. No. So you don't hate me? I don't want to spend the rest of my life hating you. Tears filled her eyes. Do you still love me? I took a slow breath. I loved you. Loved? Yes. She looked away. I wanted to believe we could fix this. So did I. But you can't. No. Why? Because love doesn't erase betrayal. She nodded. I understand. I looked at her. I don't celebrate what happened to you, Claire. Why not? Because watching you fall doesn't heal the wound you created. She cried silently. I stayed quiet. Then she raised her eyes. Ethan? Yes. If you had followed me that night, would you have left me immediately? The question stayed between us. I looked at the woman I once called my wife. I don't know, I said. I might have stayed for an explanation. I might have begged you to choose me. I might have blamed myself for all of it. But that night forced me to see what I had refused to see. The marriage I wanted had already been damaged by secrets, fear, and choices neither of us could take back. Following your car did not end my marriage. It revealed an ending that had begun. And for the first time, I realized the answer mattered less than the truth I had already learned. I thought about Claire's question for several days. If you had followed me that night, would you have left me immediately? The answer became clearer with time. No. I would have begged. I would have asked what I did wrong. I would have searched for some excuse to save our marriage. But now I understood something important. Following Claire did not end our marriage. The lies had ended it long before that night. When I finally told Claire that, she nodded quietly. I wish I could change everything, she said. So do I. Do you ever think about us? Sometimes. Do you miss me? I looked at her. I miss who I believed we were. She lowered her eyes. I understand. Our divorce became final a few weeks later. There was no shouting, no dramatic fight, just signatures, silence, and two people accepting that they could not return to the lives they had once promised to share. When I walked out of the lawyer's office, Sophia asked, How do you feel? Free. Sad. Yes. Angry. Sometimes. She smiled slightly. That sounds honest. It is. My company also began changing. I stopped giving blind trust to people simply because they had been beside me for years. I checked documents. I asked questions. I listened when something felt wrong. Marcus noticed the difference first. You finally learned to trust carefully. I did. Without becoming suspicious of everyone. I hope so. Mia laughed. That's progress. Daniel added, You're finally thinking before reacting. I hate that all of you are right. We laughed. It was the first real laugh I had shared with them in months. Ryan eventually left my employment. Before he left, he came to my office. I wanted to say goodbye. Take care of yourself. I will. I heard you're cooperating with the investigation. I am. Good. He hesitated. I know saying sorry isn't enough. It isn't. I still want to say it. I nodded. Then say it. I'm sorry, Ethan. I looked at him. I accept your apology. I won't forget what happened, but I don't need to carry it forever. He shook my hand. Then he walked away. Months passed. My company grew stronger. My life became quieter. I began sleeping better. I stopped checking my phone every few minutes. I stopped wondering where Claire was. I stopped asking myself why I wasn't enough. One evening, I drove without a destination. Before I realized it, I was on the same road where I had followed Claire's car. I slowed down. The hotel was still there. I parked across the street and turned off the engine. For a moment, I remembered that night. I remembered my shaking hands, my racing heart, the phone call with Marcus, the impossible hope that maybe I had misunderstood everything. I remembered the man sitting inside that car. He had been broken, confused, desperate for an explanation. I felt sorry for him, but I no longer felt like him. I looked at the hotel entrance and whispered, "You survived." I smiled, not because Claire had suffered, not because Victor had fallen, not because I had won some perfect revenge. I smiled because I had finally come back to myself. Betrayal had taken my marriage. It had taken my trust. For a while, I thought it had taken my future too. But it hadn't. It had forced me to see the truth. It had forced me to stop begging for love that was no longer being given. It had forced me to build a life that did not depend on another person's choices. My phone rang. It was Mia. "Where are you?" "Just driving." "Are you okay?" I looked at the road ahead. "Yeah." "Really?" "Really." "Then come home." I smiled. "I will." I started the car and drove away from the hotel. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. The past was behind me, and for the first time, I wasn't afraid of what waited ahead. That man finally chose peace over revenge, fear, and regret. I followed my wife's car that night because I wanted to discover what she was hiding. I never imagined I would discover the man I needed to become.